Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher. Welcome to Not Perfect Zen and days 29 and 30 of Inktober Tangles 2022. I have picked two of my 2x2-inch watercolored paper, and there is a link in the description if you want to know how I did that. For all of these, I'm using Micron 01, sometimes an eraser, a blending stump, and a graphite pencil. And if you want to use hashtags, you can use one of these. I really appreciate it if you use this one that has my name, because then it's really easy for me to find the tiles that you've done, that I get to look at what your work is. We only have 3 to go, and we're going to do 2 of those today. Okay. Now you get to look at my sketchbook, and you can see that I didn't do very much on this one. 29 is Avro by Yvonne Westover, CZT, and day 30 is SaveU by Nadine Roller, CZT, and we'll get to this one, but I didn't do very well with it. Okay, so Avro by Yvonne Westover, she does have what she calls Why We Start. It's the Why West art, but she has a lot of great classes in case you're interested in that. She has the step outs on her website, and it's basically a fragment like the letter A. And before I start drawing it, I want to show you that I did this on a tile where I did, okay, like a fragment, but I had an orb because I was trying to figure out some of them that she had done. So let me kind of piece this back together so that you can see it. Anyway, I decided to, cut that apart because I was trying to figure out how she had done some of the tiles that she has in her step out and example. And you can do something like this with any fragment. Take it, make it in squares, and then just kind of move them around and see what you like. Let's see if we put these to the center. How would that look? Okay, so I think one of them that I saw, each one was, do that one to the top, and then flip this one once. And well, actually, that's exactly what I have. This is what I ended up doing, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So anyway, just an idea of one of the things you can do with fragments. Okay, so let's start on Avro. And this under. So basically, within a square, and you don't have to do a border like this, but you start with either inking this in or do it with pencil. She does kind of a curve that comes down and then goes into this corner. She actually starts with this diagonal line, but I have found that I do it better if I do the little curved line first. And then I want a line that starts here that kind of lines up at those corners. Okay. And then and I'm not sure that this is the exact order of what's in the step outs, but this is where I see the letter A. And then she R's that line. And then we aura these lines, but first we're going to put a line across here. And then we're just kind of going to aura that and bring it down. And then she comes off of this one and does kind of the same thing down to that corner. And then we're going to do one more that comes down to that corner. So that's basically how that pattern works. Okay. And I'm going to do it in the grid with 4 of them going across. And I'm going to go ahead and put the center line. I was trying to look at what I did. So just try to find the center. All right, and turn it. If they're not exactly right, it doesn't matter. I love how she did it on a Zendala. She did it in the round, but I'm just going to do it simple like we have here. Okay, like I said, in the step out, she starts at about center, and that's the first thing she does is that line. But I like to do the curved line first. So it's just a little bit of a slope, and then it ends in this center spot. And I just like to get this kind of lined up before I put my pen down. And then do that. I'm going to make that letter A and put the aura line here. And then we start. And I kind of have this at the same angle as this other one here. I'm going to follow that curve and come down. It's going to meet in the center. Same thing here. Bring it down. Have it meet in the center. And then one more. And hers didn't go all the way to this box, so I'm not doing that either. Okay, I'm going to turn it once, and then I'm going to repeat that. Okay, so we're going to start over here. Kind of reminds me of a hill to go down. Take our letter A. She does have a story about how she came up with this pattern. She is an airline stewardess, so that has something to do with it. All right, turn it again and do the same thing. Okay, do my line here. All right. Cross here. Down again. And then one more. Okay. Make our diagonal line. Or that. There's our A. Okay. All right. I'm going to put kind of a dot here in the center to kind of pull them all together. On this one that I didn't do a whole lot with it. She does blacken in this area here where the A is. I'm just going to do a little bit of cross hatching. Just for something different. You can fill it in with black or maybe even gray. There are a few examples of this in the Mosaic app. And well, actually, that's the other pattern I'm thinking about. Don't think I found many examples on this one. All right, so let's do some shading. Just going to put a little bit up here at the top of each of these, and then down here at the bottom where it comes up. And I mostly do just simple shading. But it does make a difference. Even when you do just a small amount of shading makes a big difference. Okay. I put a little bit in the center of this. And kind of went over the line. I didn't mean for it to do that. So yes, occasionally I use my eraser. And now I'm just going to start softening that. And just start off lightly with your shading. You can always come back and add a little more if you want. You can add it in layers. And I'm just pushing this toward the center. And then just softening this a little bit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit more here in the center. I think sometimes the watercolor that I use, this is Lindy's Magicals, sometimes doesn't hold on to the graphite the way that the plain paper does. Okay, and I just realized I put some right there. And you could put a little bit of white here in the center. Just to bring that out a little bit. All right, so that is Avro by Yvonne Westover. And that's day 29. And day 30 is SaveU by Nadine Roller, CZT. And see my little unhappy face? This one did not come out well at all. She does have a step out on her website. When you click on the PDF link, it takes you to Instagram. If you don't have an Instagram account, and if you want to get to her actual website to look at it, then I'm going to put the link to this pattern at Nadine's website in the description below. And I want to show you how many times I practiced this. I wasn't sure. This one, see, I have just little 5 petals there, and it didn't come out right. So I have a note here, put at least 6 petals here. And I tried a couple of different ideas on how to make this look even. And I even did a few times on another card that I struggled with it, making it look good. Okay, and that's the perfectionist in me. But we're going to try it on this tile. And she starts, okay, let me show you on the back of this one first. Let's see if I can get it right. And I think I decided that either 6 or 8 of these little petals was best. And you want them kind of rounded. Okay, so what do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And then from these, you're going to come down and come back up. So to me, it starts out, reminds me of an ice cream cone. All right, and you do want this to come down a bit. Yeah, I think part of the problem I had on my other one was I didn't make these come down enough. So down and up, down, then up, down and up, down and up. Okay, so that's the beginning. And then for this, she does some filling in here in the center. She does little flowers all inside here, and then fills that in with black. And before I forget, the SaveU was done for Ukraine. Okay, it was a pattern she created for Ukraine. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is add these lines that go on the outside of each. And I found that if I gave myself a target, I want this to be a little bit above these other petals. And I just found that if I did this, I made these a little more even in the way that I needed them to be. Okay, so now between these, we're going to add petals again. And I found some of these on the Mosaic app that really did look perfect. And I had to wonder if they used some kind of a grid to get it that way. Because I guarantee mine did not come out looking perfect. Okay, so you do that. And then it's going to look like these petals, these lines come straight down like that to each side of these other petals. So down, down, and this one down to that side, down to that side. Okay, just keep turning. You may need to practice this one a couple of times, as you can see. I did. All right. And then these get filled in also. So this part down here is filled in and that gets filled in. So I'm not thrilled with how I'm doing this one, but I'm going to show you again, and hopefully this one will look nice. So we're going to start with our center petals. And there's not a certain number of petals that you need here. But like I said, I did find that you should probably have a minimum of 6. All right. So this time I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 again. All right. Now we're going to do these lines that come down and back up. So from the bottom of each of these petals, we're adding a V. So it's making a multi-pointed star there in the center. All right. And I'm going to put a few flowers down here, which are very similar to how we started. And then I'll come back later and fill this in. All right, so now I'm going to put my little dots up here. This is not in the step out. This is just what worked for me. I'm coming up from the center of each of these little dots or petals here, and putting a dot that's about the same distance on each one of these. And like I said, it just helps me to have something to aim for. And then we're going to add our curved line. Around the petal. Okay. So now it's going to look like this line comes from here and straight down to that side, straight down to that side. So it's almost like this is coming around and you're completing that line. Just keep turning your tile. I can tell you after working in my sketchbook, it's not easy to turn something that big when you have to fold it open. It makes me really appreciate the elegance of limits on the size of a tile that we normally do for Zentangle. Okay, let's go ahead and fill these in. I'm sorry if I hit my camera. And you could put other patterns inside here if you wanted. Oops. Okay, since I made that one kind of thick, I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of them look the same. Maybe you've heard, if you can't fix it, feature it. So I'm going to go ahead and make all of these a little bit thicker. Okay. And I know some ladies that I've heard when they tried to fix a certain pattern that they didn't do right, they come up with a whole new pattern. Okay. So again, you could do, where did my card go? Okay. You could do something like this, where you put, all I did here was I put 2 lines down like this. And this isn't a difficult pattern, but I just wanted it to look more symmetrical, and mine did not. Okay, so that's how you could do these outside ones. I put cross hatching in the center, but like I said, the way she does it is she actually puts little flowers and then start filling it in. I am going to put an aura, excuse me, an aura inside here. I just kind of like how it looks. Just to make it a little bit different. So tomorrow's pattern is Pangea, which is one of the newest patterns that have come out from Zentangle headquarters. And then we're done. And then I want to play with some of these patterns, putting them together on 3.5-inch tiles. Okay, lost my pencil. So what I'm going to do now is just put a little bit of shading underneath each of these. I'll do it up here too. So I have my pencil on its side, so I'm not leaving a harsh line. I'm just putting a slight curve, like a letter C. And then take my blending stump. Just kind of bring that down. You can put a little bit of shading all the way around. Come down just a little bit on the sides. So when we add the shading, it no longer looks flat. Give it a little bit of depth. Okay, tomorrow when I do the last tile, I will put it all together in my frame and be able to see how it's going to look. All right, not bad. This one turned out better than some of the others that I've done. All right, so that is SaveU. And this is Avro. And we can put it into the frame. And get it to work. There we go. Sorry. It's not easy to get this to zoom in and out on my phone. All right. So here is 29 and 30. I'm also going to add a little bit to this before I'm finished. All right. If you stuck with me for all of these days, I really do appreciate it. And for those of you who leave comments and hit the like button and have sent me support, I appreciate you greatly. This has been fun. It has been a great learning process for me, and I hope that you've enjoyed it too. All right. In 2 days, I'll come back with this last one, Pangea, and then we'll be done. All right. Thanks again. Have a great week. Bye.